HRIS. We're here to save the day and help you with all your most confounding workday problems.
Today, we will be creating a step on your business process that routes to a certain level of approver. For example, for SOX compliance, some companies require at least 2 levels of approvals for any compensation-related changes. We will explore how you can configure this on a business process in the 3 steps listed here. First, we will add a step to the business process that goes up an approval chain. Second, we will create a rule that limits the approval chain to whatever number of approvers in the management chain we want. For our example, we will go up 3 levels in the approval chain. Lastly, we will look at some optional configurations that you can add to limit if an approver in the chain who has already approved on the process needs to approve again. Let's get started. First, navigate to any business process you would like to have this happen on. I'm going to start with our offer business process. Now, click the related actions at the top of the business process and scroll down to click Edit Definition to add our new step. A pop-up window will appear. Click OK on this window. Now, navigate to the process below, and in the top left-hand corner, click the plus button to add a step. Give the step an order in which you would want it to happen in your business process. Now, we will scroll to the right slightly to configure the type of step we want to add to our BP. Alright, under the column that is Title Type, we are going to scroll through and select Approval Chain as the type of step we want to kick off. Next, we are going to select the group, or approval chain, that we want the step to route through, meaning the step will route to every single person in the worker's management approval chain all the way to the top/CEO. Now, I will select the proposed option in the routing modifier so that this step goes to the management chain that is proposed on the process instead of the old management chain. This is especially important in offers that go through a rec or in the change job process so that the current management chain of the worker doesn't have to approve. Now let's click OK. See here, we can see our step has been added to the process. Now let's navigate to the related actions on our step and create our condition rule. Hover over Business Process and then click Create Condition Rule. I mentioned before that we will have our step go to the 3rd level of approver in the management chain. So, we will name our condition rule 3rd level approval. Now search for the field called Approval Chain Count. Set the relational operator as equal to and the comparison value as 3. This is where you can add an additional step that limits how far your approval chain count of 3 goes. For example, if your CEO or C-suite falls within the 3 levels of approval, you can add a condition that states the management level is not CEO or C-suite to stop the approval chain before it gets to those levels. However, for this video, we will not be adding the condition. Feel free to comment on the video if you would like to see how to set up the condition in this rule, and we will respond with that. Now let's click OK and copy the name of the rule we just created and navigate back to our BP. Now let's navigate to the related actions on our step and add our new rule to our step. Hover over Business Process and then click Maintain Step Conditions. Click OK here. Then navigate to the tab that says Exit Conditions. We are going to add the condition that we just created as an exit condition to let the process know when to stop going through the approval chain, or when to exit per se. Click the plus sign to add an input row, and then paste the rule that we created and copied in the input area. Then, click OK. Now, We can see our step is added to the business process that goes to the management chain and exits on the third level approver. Lastly, we are going to configure some optional conditions to the step. There is a way to skip any person who has already approved on this process once the step hits. You can do this by clicking the related actions on the step we just created. Hover over Business Process and click the Maintain Advanced Routing option. Then, click the checkbox for Exclude Initiator to, so that the person who initiates the process doesn't have to approve again on this step. And also click the checkbox for the Exclude Prior Approver option, so that anyone who has already approved the process doesn't have to approve again on this step. Then click OK and Done. Now we can see on our new step that there are some text here that indicates the restrictions we just added to the step. It is important to note that the step will kick off anytime the process is launched because there are no entry conditions on our step now. If you would like this step to kick off in certain scenarios, you can add an entry condition for whatever the scenario is that you are looking for. You can navigate to the related actions on the step. Hover over Business Process and click Maintain Step Conditions. Then under the tab that states Entry Condition, you can click the plus sign to add an input row and add any condition rule you would like to kick off the step. We do have a few other videos on entry conditions, so please feel free to check those out. I want to say thank you for sticking through the whole video on how to create an exit condition on a business process step for a specific level of approver tied to the management chain.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content and want us to keep making helpful, useful, and actionable Workday